Receiving your content. We're live. We're live. Are we sorted? Are we sorted? Right, guys. Hello, and welcome back to Love for Crypto. Sorry, it's been a while, and it has been a while, but yeah, got busy, bit pissed off with YouTube, got a little busy and that, and just want to say thanks for the support that we've had off a few people to come back and to carry on making content. Kung Fu Nerd, saw your video, seen on Instagram. Appreciate it, mate, appreciate it. The thing I wanted to talk about the most in this little video is world value. Let me find my phone and make sure it's on silent because I don't want this, I don't want us getting interrupted really. I got my little chat up. Greetings from sunny Birmingham. Been too long, Richard. I know, mate. I know. Apologies. It's warm here. I've got a sweat on, so I might be rubbing my head a few times. But basically, a few videos about the predictions and that. XRP predictions. And it's like, seeing some extremely low numbers. If they're going to take over cash, it's going to take over currency. People need to start aiming higher, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you a little thing here, and I've done a few calculations. Now all the calculations in this now, I am fully assuming, I'm taking this as there's 100 billion XRP. They're all out there, they're all being used, all in circulation, and we're going to compare the value with these industries or the commodities or whatever it is, the stock market, derivatives, fucking debt, you name it, we're going to compare it to it. And we're going to do it as in the sense that there's 100 billion XRP out there. They're all in circulation and they're all being used. We can then take that number and knowing that some of us are holding and there's the escrow, they're not all being used. So that number will be higher if it takes over that industry. If even it's a little fraction of it. So let's go. This was done in October last year, so it's a little bit behind. You'll see Bitcoin there. There's 100 billion of Bitcoin. It's the bronzy one. So you got Bitcoin, the rest in Ethereum. It was a while ago. We're going to ignore them for now. And just scroll down slowly. There's your currency in the world. Cash. 7.6 trillion. Right? So $7.6 trillion of coins and banknotes. If it takes over that at 100 billion coins, all in circulation, that's $76 per XRP. Just to take that currency, that little bit there, there's that little bit in green, that is a $76 XRP with 100 in circulation all being used, and we know they're not. So you can bump that number up. Yeah, it's crazy. C3 Nick, how's it going, mate? C3 Nick in the house. Where the fuck have you guys been with my fix? Need to see you back. Let's show that comment. So yeah, we're going to move on. Gold is bragging right in it. I've got the gold. I think a few of you believe, no, that's what I believe Bitcoin will be. The kids of tomorrow will all want one Bitcoin, knowing there's only going to be 21 million of them and how many millions been lost. We're all going to be like, I've got a full Bitcoin. Yeah. And it just is what it is. $7.7 trillion. Market cap that for Bitcoin if you want. I'd add diamonds to it myself, but we've got other blockchains running diamonds. So stock markets. So the stock market's at $73 trillion. If that was to move on to Coleus via smart contracts, and again, 100 billion in circulation, all 100 billion being used, that's $730 per XRP. And that's without the cash. The cash was $76. Yeah. And that's just the cash. We've not even finished with the money yet. But $730 if you just want to take over the stock market on Coleus with smart contracts. Crazy. Crazy numbers, these. SSC stock given 24 billion contract for BC chain. See, the thing with Coleus can use multiple currencies, can't it? So if you take the stock market, it's incredibly fast, connected to anything connected to the internet. There's built-in payments. And if we travel to the bottom of this one, fully compliant with the interledger for any cryptocurrency. We understand. Now, I'm just saying if it's all going to be XRP, these will be the numbers. Right? I'm not saying it is all going to be XRP, because Coleus allows you to spend in Ethereum, allows you to spend in XRP, BTC, whichever you choose. But back to this for now. Stock markets, $730 per XRP if it was to all be done in that. This is the global money now. This is where, for me personally, I think a lot of people lose what this actually is and where it's all going. The green cash is still at the top. Excuse me. But the total value of the world's easily accessible money, like the liquid money that you can just boom, get like that, is 36.8 trillion. It's $360 per XRP just to take over that narrow money at the top. But that's the easy accessible liquidated money. Ripple didn't come out intending to tackle that market. They wanted the broad money, Nostra money, the cross-border payments, which when you add it all together, it's 90 trillion to take the physical, the non-physical, and the locked up money. It's 90 trillion. It's $900 per XRP, with all 100 billion in circulation, all 100 billion being used. We know they won't be all in circulation. We know they won't be all being used. Therefore, that number can go higher. Madness. Well, people thinking long-term fucking valuation at $20, $30, $50, $100, $200. I'm sorry, but in my opinion, that's just... Where have you got that from? That's a couple of years, yeah? Yeah, if you're saying, oh, year or two prediction, but nah, 10 years time, nah. Wait till we get to the derivatives. You ain't seen nothing yet. Real estate, global debt, I'm just going to leave alone because that's another $2,000 on top of the price of each XRP. $2,000 just with a debt. Global real estate. $217 trillion worth of real estate in the world, commercial real estate, agricultural real estate. It's 2,170 additional dollars per XRP to tackle real estate through smart contracts on Coleus via XRP. Again, it can be Ethereum, it could be BTC, who knows, but if it's all XRP, it's an extra $2,000 per each XRP. Like, unbelievable numbers here, and all we've done is took over the money of the world and how it's moving, and smart contract the stock market and smart contract real estate, and you're talking, we're into the $3,000 per XRP already, and with all 100 billion in circulation, all 100 billion being used. We know that won't happen. Mark that number up. It's derivatives. Oh my God. I mean, this is, not only is this quite unbelievable amount of value, what we're looking at here, it's also unbelievable how much distance there is from this low-end estimate of the size and scope of global derivative markets is 544 trillion. What? That's $5,440 per XRP with them all in circulation if they take over the value of that and start tracking it. The fact that they don't even know the value of it, because when you come to the bottom, it's just absolutely unbelievable. The high-end estimate for the value of all derivative contracts is as high as 1.2 quadrillion. It's 12 grand per XRP. If all 100 billion are out and they take over the derivative market and smart contracts on Coleus. Our people working out $100 thing is here. We come to the bottom. There's the value of Bitcoin at the bottom there, little square. It's absolutely crazy. So I mean, this chart here, I'm going to link this. We've shown this a few times in a couple of videos. I know Kurt has. I'm going to leave the link to it in the description. Now, people need to have a little look at this. But when you start thinking about cash, hard cash you walk into the shop with, at what point did Ripple come out and say, yeah, we're going to make it easier to spend. What we're going to do, we're going to replace your cash with XRP. They didn't do that. Why people are talking about it even doing that at the moment is weird. The global money supply, they're tackling broad money, they're tackling the money that is not easily accessible, that's ended up locked up because of all these Nostra and Vostra accounts. Oh, you owed my money, and I've got your money. And then it's going to take 5 days to send his money when he could fly there and take it himself. It's madness. We're being in Europe now. If I had someone in China and I wanted to give them some money, in cash, in fiat money, the fastest way for me to get it to them is to jump on a plane and fly it to China, because it'll take longer to get it through the banks. That's what Ripple have been targeting, is it not? Starting with cross-border payments. We could talk about the IMF, the Federal Reserve, we can talk about the global reserve currency all we want, but Ripple's targeting that. And it still takes XRP over any valuation we've really seen, or the apparent realistic predictions that are all conveniently under £1,000. They're now saying that even 589 is not realistic. Well, there's only 4 months of the year left, so for an end of year 589, it's becoming increasingly unrealistic. For a future 589, was you listening? do you know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy. Let's have a little look, see if anyone sings. What do you think about Venezuela making their own crypto backed on the Royal? They're looking for stable coins. Only truth. Looking for stable coins, aren't they? And the way the government see it at the moment, the only way to make a coin truly stable is to back it next to something. I think that's the ways and means about that. And the more we see CBDCs, again, not many people talking about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Babs talked about them quite a lot. No one's talking about Ripple. Where's the Ripple news? There's one for our American viewers, right? We have a CNBC, us, right? I'll even flaming show it, y'all. There's Bloomberg. We'll get up to closing bell. After closing bell, it goes off. We don't get fast money. The show that's somehow always talking about Bitcoin and the cryptos, it's always on fast money. And they don't give us fast money. The UK very rarely talks about cryptocurrencies. We have to go to the government website and get treasury meetings to see the government talk about it, because the news just won't. If you think Americans are beating it down, like, Britain's media is just ignoring it. It's absolutely crazy. So the government making their own shit. I wouldn't necessarily say the poo or shit cryptos, but they will be making their own, yeah. White in Vermont, hey now, welcome back. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Meowga, much love, bro. Nice to see you. CBDCs, I feel, are going to be massive. I read somewhere about Babbies that as you start, when Bab released the platform, everyone's a bank, and if you're an XRP supporter, I suggest you go and have a little look at it. But it's basically XRP for the little people. Where XRP is what I'd call a banker's coin. Bab's it's at the bottom of the pyramid. XRP has gone in at the top of the pyramid. It's working down with the existing banks. Bab's coming in at the bottom, becoming its own bank, empowering us with some power that the banks have and working its way up. It mentions CBDCs, and it mentions that when you're purchasing backs on the platform, they're going to have a second token sale next year as the app comes out and the platform gets fleshed out and they sort any bugs out. It'll be the alpha version. But there's people's going to be buying backs, and they're going to lock them pounds, or the currency that buys the backs, they're going to lock them away. And that then becomes a GBP CBD in theory, until the Bank of England decides what they want, and they'll just stop printing pound notes, pound coins. They'll stop printing fivers, stop printing tenors, and as they pull the old notes back in, might be a decade, 2 decades, might be 5 years, 3 years, but they'll pull the old money in like they do anyway, and then instead of releasing new fiat, that will then get converted into CBDCs. I've got no doubts about that, mate. Absolutely no doubts about it. Do not compare the derivatives market cap with XRP market cap, please. That's highly misleading. C3 Nick, not trying to be misleading, mate. You want to elaborate on that a little bit? I'm just suggesting if they can run through Coleus and do run through Coleus, that is a hell of a lot of value. Also, you must feel there's an argument here for the derivative market to actually be on a blockchain, so they'd actually know the value of it, rather than them just saying, oh, it's between 544 trillion and 1.2 quadrillion. Just try and work it out, bro. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's going on Coleus or it's going on blockchain, but at what point do they get a grip of that market, mate, and actually determine its true value? It's quite unbelievable to me that they don't know it, and I don't know that much about it, if I'm being perfectly honest, but it's there in front of my face. They don't even know the value. Blockchain technology, DLT, it would surely help them keep track of it, help them get track of it, for starters. You can't keep track of something you've not even got track of in the first place, can there? Coleus is independent from XRP in that context. Coleus does not use XRP to settle these contracts. It doesn't have to use XRP to settle the contracts, but it can. It can. Sorry about this. Where it might take me a while to do it. So as he was building Coleus, there's only one problem. Running contracts cost money. We didn't have a neutral way to pay the Coleus holders. Picking any single digital asset would have a pigeonholed that platform, likely causing it to be shunned by all other communities. The solution was an abstraction layer that allows users to send and receive any digital asset, fiat currency, or any other kind of value. This is what eventually became the Interledger, the open protocol for sending payments across different ledgers. So Coleus is just another layer above Interledger that's fully compliant with it. So you don't have to send a valuable contract or a payment or send a bill and receive a payment. But the fact of the matter is you can. That's all I'm trying to highlight. You can send payments through it. You can receive payments through it, and the contract can have value. Speaking to Kurt about it earlier, does XRP need to be there for that contract to have like intrinsic value, or is it just emotional value on the contract? We've literally just been talking about it before I did the video, because I didn't want to. There's not exactly. UK just said it. They're not talking about it on the news. We have to fucking dig and dig and dig online to try and find new information, new content. And even here now, I'm on Coil Media on Medium blog. I don't know if the majority of Coleus contracts is going to use XRP or not. I just wanted to highlight the fact that if it does, and it can do anything within the derivatives market, there's a hell of a lot of value in that market. I think you'll agree, if we just take that off and it can at least control some of the stock market, some of real estate, releasing the broad money, facilitating the narrow money, we've still got an extremely, extremely valuable coin on our hands. I don't think anyone would dispute that, to be honest. Winner coming videos again from you. Only Truth. To be honest, mate, going to try and stay on top of them again now. And we did slack off a bit too much. Me and Kurt have been extremely busy. And like we say, we did get a little bit peed off with YouTube not monetizing us. But me personally felt it was being a little bit petty, not putting content on simply because I can't put an advert on it and earn from it. Started to feel quite petty in the end. The only reason I've come on live now is because I just didn't have the time to pre-record this and mess about editing it and uploading it later on. So you're probably going to see a lot more live videos from there, at least until we get the time and the patience to edit a bit more. Kung Fu Nerd, if you watch this, you need to let me know how you get the patience and skills to edit so much in your vids, because they're awesome, bro. Awesome. And your Instagram is booming. Love it. That's basically all I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to highlight, if it takes cash, broad money, narrow money, smart contracts, the stock market, gets a few smart contracts in real estate, we're looking at extremely valuable coins, extremely valuable coins. It's not going to make any end of year my end of year prediction is between $10 and $15, going to be honest. I think anything beyond that's possible. I just don't see it at the moment. I think we all see a little bit of manipulation at the moment. It's nowhere near where I thought it'd be by this time this year. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. We're waiting for a lot of things to come live at the moment, aren't we? We're all throwing a lot of speculation about. It's another reason we maybe didn't do as many videos as we should have, just because of the speculation, and it's everyone just saying the same thing, innit, really? Unless you've got an extremely different opinion than someone else, everyone's just going to be watching the same shit. Earn rates, mate. That's the thing, people. It's an appreciating asset. It's in the long run, it gains value anyway, just by people sending it to each other, just by the being transactions. It's appreciating anyway. We all just have to be extremely patient with it. Extremely patient. Yes, it can, but you cannot pair the derivative market with the XRP market cap. That just does not work. Again, C3Nate, it wasn't even really legit. I'm just pointing out, if some bucks this, mate, if some bucks. If Coleus doesn't use XRP to settle them, can it use XRP or not? XRP, 1,000 bones, it can use XRP, Coleus. It can also use Bitcoin. Look, this diagram here highlights it. You've got Coleus as the top layer there, integrating with the interledger, interoperability. And then you could choose Ethereum, Bitcoin, XRP. Now, what me and Kurt was talking about earlier is you could have a contract that has no intrinsic value, needs no money there, currency there, excuse me. Needs no money or currency there. It just literally needs that agreement between two parties. I don't see reason for it to use XRP at that point. But do the hosts not get paid? It's got to be using something somewhere, and this is where I ended up on this article. There was a problem running contract costs money. That was the problem they had. You might have a contract that's of no value, but running the contract costs money. They didn't have a neutral way to pay the Coleus hosts. Picking a single digital asset would have a pigeonholed the platform. Interledger was born through that problem. It's fully compliant with Interledger, and it can accept multiple cryptocurrencies. Use the most efficient. Well, I'm yeah, gonna have to love you and leave you guys. I've got to nip out, but I'll try and get back on tomorrow. See if I've got enough to talk about and that. I'm actually glad to be back. Happy to be back. It's felt good. It's been way too long since I did a video, and it will not be that long again, I promise you. I'm sure Kurt's got a few decent videos in his head he wants to do, but he's not sure how he wants to start. And he had a documentary idea that he was going to run with, and a bit tinfoil at it, but I know some of you love that. I know I love a little bit of it. Kurt does as well, so it needs something to settle it. We'll probably use the most efficient. The most efficient will be XRP, will it not? I mean, I'm not sure if they can, not unless Interledger's sending Bitcoin at the same speed as XRP, which I highly doubt it. But yeah, guys, gonna love you and leave you. I'm really sorry, but I'm pushing it. It's a lot longer than I expected that video to be, but as always, love yous, love crypto. Take it easy. Feel free to drop more comments and we'll get back to you as and when we can. And I'll see you soon. Just stop this bad boy now. Later. Mwah.